From the opening scene, we can see anti-Soviet propaganda. The Nazi slaughter of Soviet troops is treated with little music and normal speed, indicating that it is a normal event. Once the soldiers turn back and are shot by their own side for retreating, do we see the dramatic slow motion and sad music showing what a supposed atrocity it is. It deliberately paints the opposite. The returning soldiers are shot out of necessity to maintain an offensive against a losing battle, but treat as normal the actual atrocity of the Nazis that was the invasion and slaughter of Europe. This may transcend from anti-Soviet propaganda to pro-Nazi propaganda. In the end, over the woman Tanya, Danilov is using his superior education and sophistication over Zaitsev, who is an uneducated shepherd boy from the Urals. Intended here is to show the classes still existed in the Soviet Union. Well, of course they did. The class antagonisms just took on a new form. The idea that the bourgeoisie only exists because they are anchored to private property was proven to be wrong. This was one of Mao's theoretical breakthroughs in socialism, understanding that they continued to exist, and he came with the plan to combat it. It even falsely claims that the Soviets were allies of the Nazis. As Zaitsev aims a shot at a Nazi telephone wire, his partner Kulikov tells him of how he was in Germany when our Joseph and their Adolf were walking hand in hand. Well, this is a lie. The Soviets and the Nazis had the Molotov-Ribbentrop Agreement after every other country had already signed an agreement with the Nazis. Stalin used it as time to build up a fighting force against the Nazis, while Belgium, Norway, Finland, Hungary, and Bulgaria all joined the Nazi side. No criticism of them is made. Kulikov then delivers a hilarious story of being tortured for being sent to Germany to study. Of course, it is claimed that Stalin sent him and not one of the thousands of subordinates. He claimed he was tortured. The claim that he was tortured means nothing, as no one tortures people for simply having been sent to another country to study, as well as the fact that this is a work of fiction. It's too obvious to mention the torture committed by Americans at the Abu Ghraib prison, Guantanamo Bay, and countless CIA black sites around the world. Near the end of the movie, Zaitsev makes the complaint that he's been made out to be something he can't live up to. To me, this reeks of an Atlas Shrugged moment. A moment in which the objectivist complains that, as an individual, he has too much to bear in contributing to others. However, a war, let alone a world war, requires enormous teamwork and sacrifice. Interestingly, objectivists rarely have to fight for anything. Almost never are they even soldiers. They know nothing about what it means to sacrifice to save lives and defend. This moment is supposed to somehow justify the virtue of selfishness by portraying Zaitsev as an oppressed great man being dragged down by the stupid, worthless mud, to use Ayn Rand's own words. The propaganda at the end is the most hilarious, superficial, and most detached from materialism. Danilov outright claims that socialism can't work because two men love the same woman. Two men loving the same woman has nothing to do with the democratization of the productive forces. The attempt here is to make the claim that romantic love between two people is the same thing as a general love that can be felt for all humanity. These are two completely different things. The movie was made political deliberately. I would have preferred the movie simply be about the war and the man himself. It's too bad this anti-communist propaganda couldn't have been placed in some other work, so as not to detract from this great story.